about to beat the case. So he wanted to do a Netflix documentary. Didn't pay the guy, and then 50 got all 140 hours of footage of secret Diddy tactics. Well, there's a guy named Neil who was mentioned in the court, works right up under Diddy, was organizing everything. Allegedly, they are saying that he is on video, film, tampering with witnesses, giving out addresses, offering money, bribing, we'll pay for your lawyers.
No one expected it, not the fans, not the industry, not even Diddy himself. It was just another silent night on the internet, until suddenly a notification appeared on millions of screens. 50 Cent drops prison audio, Diddy begging for help, people clicked. And within seconds the world froze. A shaky voice echoed in the recording, the kind of voice you don't expect from a billionaire, a legend, a man who once controlled parties, awards and headlines. Heavy breathing, a pause, almost like he was swallowing his pride. Then the words, "You gotta get me out of here, I can't survive this." Whether it was real or not didn't matter in that moment. The idea of Diddy, a man known for power and fearlessness, now sounding broken and vulnerable, was enough to set the whole internet on fire. Twitter exploded, YouTube flooded with reactions. Comment sections turned into war zones, some saying 50 was exposing truth, others claiming this was revenge, clout, old rivalry resurfacing. Because this isn't just drama, this is a decades-old battlefield. A cold war between two giants, 50 Cent versus Diddy, filled with documentaries, lawsuits, allegations, industry whispers, and secrets people feared to repeat out loud. And now, with these alleged prison tapes, 50 Cent didn't just throw a stone, he may have pushed the first domino. But how did we get here? What led to a moment where one of the most powerful men in hip-hop allegedly ends up begging for help behind a prison wall? And why would 50 Cent be the one releasing these tapes? To understand this chaos, we must go back to the beginning. Back to when the crown of hip-hop had two claimants, both hungry, ruthless, and unstoppable. Because this story isn't just about a recording. It's about ego, betrayal, fame, and a rivalry that never died. To understand how things reached a point where 50 Cent is releasing alleged prison tapes of Diddy, we must go back to the time when both men were rising toward the same throne of hip-hop. In the late 90s and early 2000s, Diddy was already a powerful name, a businessman, a rapper, a mogul who controlled studios, labels, and stages. His life was bright, loud, expensive, and filled with fame. He threw the biggest parties, walked with the biggest celebrities, and lived like the world itself was under his fingertips. He wasn't just successful, he was dominant, a symbol of power in music and business. Around the same time, another force was being shaped in the streets of Queens. Curtis Jackson, known to the world as 50 Cent, was rising from the grit of survival. He came from bullets, betrayal, broken nights, and a background where life didn't give mercy easily. When 50 Cent released Get Rich or Die Tryin', the entire industry shook. His voice carried hunger and fearlessness. He was raw, unfiltered, a fighter who walked into the music world not to join it but to take it. Where Diddy represented luxury, 50 represented war and hustle. Two different worlds, but both aiming for the same peak. When two powerful men rise together, tension is natural. It didn't start loud, not at first. It began with subtle interviews, small comments, jokes with hidden intention. 50 has always been bold, never afraid to call out something he found fake or unfair. Meanwhile, insiders whispered that Diddy wasn't always the type to accept criticism calmly. Business deals happened, some failed, loyalty shifted, egos clashed, and slowly a silent rivalry began to grow. It was like a storm in slow motion, quiet but building, waiting for the right moment to explode. Years later, scandals began circling around Diddy. One allegation became two became 10. Former associates started speaking. Rumors about parties, control, money, contracts, things people once ignored suddenly felt louder. And 50 Cent, instead of stepping back, stepped forward. He didn't attack with songs like rappers normally do. He attacked with documentaries, long-format exposure, interviews, testimonies. He teased hidden files, secret recordings, industry truths. People laughed at first, thinking it was just trolling, but then Netflix interest rumors appeared. Platforms began watching. 50 wasn't playing anymore, he was building a case. One after another, voices started coming out. Gene Deal shared stories from behind the curtains. Cassie's case created shockwaves online. Jaguar Wright spilled details nobody expected. Podcasts, leaked clips, screenshots, old footage. Suddenly, the internet felt like a crime board covered with strings connecting names, places, and scandals. Diddy was no longer just a superstar, he had become a headline magnet. Federal investigations were whispered about, some said houses were searched, some claimed settlements were happening behind closed doors. Celebrities distanced themselves. Sponsors went silent, something was changing. Then the rumor arrived, one that shook everything. People online began saying Diddy might be detained, questioned, or negotiating. No confirmation, no denial, just heavy silence. And in that silence, 50 Cent posted a teaser, a short audio clip, no caption explaining it, just a voice that sounded painfully similar to Diddy, tired, scared, broken. A voice saying, "You gotta get me out of here, I can't survive this." That was enough. Hashtags exploded. Reaction channels uploaded non-stop videos. Some thought it was real evidence, some thought it was revenge. Some believed 50 had been collecting files for years, waiting for one perfect moment. Whether the audio was confirmed or not didn't matter. What mattered was perception, and perception hit hard. People who once saw Diddy as untouchable now imagined him trapped behind walls, asking for help. And the world suddenly realized, if these tapes are real, then this isn't just career damage. This could be empire-breaking. 50 Cent posted no long explanation.
Docuseries that wasn't in the previous docs that you saw, because they said, no, I'm gonna do that one because physically that's gonna be that. Like, I think it's just the way I was brought up. I don't really register those things. I've been through way more extreme things than these people. I look at the project, it's just another project to me.
He let chaos do the talking. He let the internet choose sides. And as comments flooded in, one line kept repeating everywhere. If 50 has more tapes, Diddy is finished. What makes it worse is the belief that 50 Cent never fires his final bullet first. He shoots slowly, patiently, one shot at a time. If this is just the beginning, then the real destruction is still ahead. When the audio clip first surfaced, the world didn't know what to believe, but belief wasn't needed. Curiosity alone was enough to turn the clip into wildfire. People shared it without hesitation, like they had been waiting years for this exact moment. The recording wasn't perfectly clear. There was static in the background, distant noises that sounded like an echo or a hallway, something metallic like bars or gates clanking. Then came that unmissable voice, deep, shaken, almost like someone who hadn't slept in days. Diddy, or a man who sounded exactly like him, whispered in a tone that felt nothing like the confident mogul the world knew. It felt like fear, like embarrassment, like desperation. As the clip played on loop across social platforms, users began analyzing every second of it. Some claimed they heard footsteps in the background, others said they recognized another voice, someone responding quietly, perhaps a guard or an inmate. People slowed the audio, enhanced it with software, and posted breakdowns like detectives solving a crime scene. "Listen here," one viral comment wrote, "you can hear him choking up, that's real panic." Another argued, "He's negotiating, he's asking someone powerful to pull strings." Within hours, TikTok was filled with theory threads, YouTube flooded with reaction panels, and Twitter Spaces turned into round-table investigations. 50 Cent stayed almost silent, posting only a laughing emoji on Instagram with the caption, "I told y'all it was gonna get ugly." That single line triggered chaos. Fans of both sides began fighting online. Diddy supporters called the clip fake, saying AI voice mimicry could produce anything today. 50's fans argued the emotion sounded too real to be generated. Many pointed out the trembling breath, the pauses, the subtle crack in the voice, elements AI often struggles to replicate naturally. Whether authentic or not, perception tilted heavily. People love downfall stories, especially when the person falling was once untouchable. Meanwhile, news bloggers and online journalists jumped into the frenzy. Headlines like, "Is Diddy begging for freedom?" 50 Cent drops bombshell evidence. Prison audio leaks, Hollywood in shock, hit the front page of entertainment media. You could scroll for minutes and still find new breakdowns, new angles, new speculation. The world hadn't seen a celebrity scandal this sticky since Kevin Spacey, Amber Heard, Kany's meltdowns, yet this felt even darker. Because this wasn't just a controversy, this was power collapsing. Inside hip-hop circles, the reactions were even more intense. Some artists unfollowed Diddy quietly. Others removed old pictures with him from Instagram, small moves but meaningful. Rap pages tracked every unfollow like football commentary. Meanwhile, 50 Cent reshared fan posts of the clip without confirming or denying anything. His silence was strategic. By saying nothing, he forced the world to say everything for him. Among the comments was one that went viral instantly. "If this is just one tape, how many more does 50 have?" That sentence alone built new fear around Diddy's name. If one audio could shake the world, imagine a full series. People speculated that 50 Cent has been gathering information, testimonies, footage, and now possibly phone or prison communications. Some even suggested he has backup from insiders, ex-friends of Diddy, old employees, maybe even celebrities who were once silent but now see an opportunity to distance themselves. Within 2 days, the audio reached mainstream news. Discussion panels debated legality. If real, releasing private prison communications could involve legal consequences. But fans pointed out something important. 50 Cent never said it was Diddy. He just dropped the audio, let the internet make assumptions, and watched. It was like a chess move, quiet, deadly, and genius. If challenged legally, he could simply say it was misinterpreted. But if Diddy reacts publicly, it indirectly confirms authenticity. A trap perfectly built. While the public screamed for answers, Diddy remained silent. No statement, no clarification, nothing. And silence during controversy is louder than words. Fans started speculating that his legal team advised him to stay quiet, fearing any response could worsen the situation. Others believed he was locked in negotiations behind the scenes, trying to control the leak. Some conspiracy threads suggested big names are involved, that if these tapes go fully public, it could expose not just Diddy but other powerful figures connected to the industry, Hollywood, parties, politics, maybe even darker circles. As reactions grew, a second clip surfaced, shorter, only a few seconds, allegedly showing Diddy breathing heavily, followed by a phrase cut out abruptly as if someone stopped recording. It didn't confirm anything new, but it added fuel. Now people believed there were multiple recordings. And where there are multiple, there's almost always a full version hidden somewhere. 50 Cent posted a cryptic line again. "You want part 2, let me know." Comments exploded, millions demanding the full tape. Memes appeared everywhere. People edited Diddy's old music videos with crying sound effects. TikTok trends mocked him. It was cruel, vicious even, but that's how the internet works. It crowns kings then laughs when they fall. But deeper beneath the memes, people recognized another truth. If the prison tape is real, then Diddy is not just scared. He is cornered. A billionaire with lawyers shouldn't sound like that unless something big is coming. Something bigger than lawsuits, gossip, or headlines. A storm is building, and the first lightning strike was just heard. Because behind the scenes, insiders claim these tapes might connect to cases that never reached daylight, parties people whispered about. Celebrities who disappeared from scenes, scandals buried with money, crimes rumored but never proven. If 50 Cent has more to show, this could be the beginning of the biggest industry collapse hip-hop has ever seen. And now the world waits nervously, impatiently, staring at 50 Cent's account like it's a live bomb, counting seconds until he decides to drop the next clip. One thing is certain, everything we have seen so far is only the surface. The real story is hidden underneath. And 50 Cent loves revealing things slowly. As days passed, the internet didn't cool down, it heated up even more. Every hour new commentary videos appeared, each claiming to know something others didn't. People dug up old interviews, old award show moments where 50 Cent and Diddy crossed paths with forced smiles, cold handshakes, awkward body language. Clips that once looked normal suddenly looked like hints of a long war. Fans slowed down footage, zoomed in on facial reactions, studied every glare, every smirk, as if the truth was hidden in the past, waiting for the future to decode it.
Down there and I pick up the tickets to LA. I got Wolf ticket. So I'm calling Wolf up. I say, "Yo, Wolf, I got your ticket to go to LA. Wolf said, "I ain't going." I said, "What you mean you ain't going?" He said, "Yo, Gene, I ain't gonna tell you how I'm making I ain't gonna tell you how to make your money, but I'm gonna let you know this. I told Puff them if they wasn't gonna take two."
What made everything even more explosive was how many people suddenly started speaking, people the world never thought would dare. Former assistants, bodyguards, studio workers, even party attendees from decades ago came forward online to tell their side. Some called Diddy controlling, others said manipulative, some claimed there were private rooms, exclusive parties, unspoken rules. Words like blackmail, favor exchange, contracts under pressure began circulating in discussions. Nothing was proven yet, but when enough people repeat similar stories, doubt becomes belief. One ex-employee claimed anonymously in a podcast that Diddy had a habit of recording everything: parties, meetings, even private moments. If true, those recordings could be his strongest shield or his biggest downfall. 50 Cent hinting about tapes could mean he isn't just talking about prison calls. He might be hinting at a vault of information, evidence, secrets, footage that powerful people never wanted to see daylight. The internet took that idea and ran with it like gasoline finding flame. Meanwhile, celebrities were asked to comment. Some dodged questions, smiling nervously and redirecting interviews. A few only replied with no comment, but silence often speaks louder. Fans analyzed who unfollowed who. When a well-known actor quietly removed all photos with Diddy, people noticed. Then a producer, then models, then influencers. The list grew daily. Even names that once praised Diddy suddenly acted like they never knew him. It felt like rats leaving a sinking ship. And while the world was focused on the tapes, something bigger happened. Old lawsuits reopened. Lawyers began revisiting documents. Witnesses came forward claiming they were ready to talk if protection guaranteed. Rumors said law enforcement might be building something large, something long-term. A case that requires patience, evidence, testimonies, the kind built brick by brick. This possibility terrified the industry, because if the investigation grows, it won't stop at one man. It could extend to every person who attended those private events, every partner who signed contracts, every celebrity who stayed silent even after seeing things. This wasn't just about Diddy versus 50 Cent anymore. It was about a hidden network that might collapse. Public response was ruthless. Funny memes turned to deep threads connecting timelines, dates, missing people, sudden career drops. A woman online claimed she attended a party years ago and saw celebrities shaking, uncomfortable, pressured to participate. Another said she had friends who swore never to return. None of this was confirmed, but the internet doesn't need confirmation to develop belief. It needs patterns, and patterns were all over the place now. The more the narrative grew, the more pressure increased on Diddy. People began asking where he was, why he hadn't appeared publicly, why no lawyer statement, why no denial. Some speculated he wasn't allowed to speak freely. Others believed he was preparing a counterattack. There were whispers he wanted to sue 50 Cent for defamation, but his team feared the lawsuit might force evidence into the open. Taking legal action might expose more than it protects. At the same time, 50 Cent continued releasing subtle jabs. He posted pictures of jail bars, prison suits, even memes of Diddy with captions like, "He should have been nicer." Fans laughed, opponents called it bullying, but no one could deny one thing: 50 Cent controlled the narrative. He was driving the story, pacing the drops like episodes of a TV season, and everyone was watching. What shook the world further was when a former music executive claimed that Diddy wasn't only scared of prison, he was scared of those he might implicate. "He knows too much," the executive said. "If he falls alone, he doesn't fall quietly." That single sentence opened a terrifying possibility. If Diddy is cornered, he could take others with him, names bigger than him. Names from rap, Hollywood, television, politics. Names people worship. This possibility made social media suddenly quiet, not in volume, but in tone. What started as memes and jokes began sounding like something darker. People wondered whether the alleged prison tape might include not just begging, but negotiation. Maybe he was pleading not just for release, but offering information in exchange for protection. A desperate deal, a bargaining chip. Because powerful men don't beg unless they're trapped. Fans replayed the audio thousands of times, trying to catch more meaning. Some thought they heard him say something like, "They'll kill me in here," though clarity was debated. Whether real or imagined, fear spread. If true, who was he afraid of? Gang ties, industry enemies, people he once protected but now threatened by exposure. Some conspiracy theories went deeper. One thread suggested Diddy had access to tapes that could destroy reputations, but someone else had access to tapes that could destroy him. It was like a circle of blackmail, each holding weapons against the other. If one side collapses, everything collapses. Meanwhile, 50 Cent didn't slow down. He hinted about a second tape release in a live stream, smiling as he read comments. When someone wrote, "Drop part 2 today," he laughed. "Y'all ain't ready yet." He knew exactly how to fuel anticipation, like a showman preparing the next act. Fans begged, threatened, joked, waiting for him to press upload. Behind the humor was tension, because everyone sensed something. 50 Cent is holding cards, and he hasn't played the strongest one yet. The music world, the film world, gossip channels, journalists, all glued to screens. Even people who didn't care about hip-hop were watching. This scandal crossed cultures, borders, languages. It wasn't just a story, it became a global event. And through all this, Diddy's silence remained the loudest part of the story. One day, a paparazzi image surfaced showing him walking with his head down, surrounded by guards. The picture spread instantly. People analyzed his expression. Did he look worried? Was he stressed? Or was it just timing? Opinions divided. But then another image appeared showing him entering a building believed to be a lawyer's office. Theories multiplied. Legal teams might be planning something big, maybe a press conference, maybe a lawsuit, maybe a deal negotiation. But none of that could erase what was already happening. The internet had chosen sides, and momentum rarely reverses once it starts. Now the world waits for one thing, the full tapes, because everyone knows something is coming. Something bigger than audio. Maybe video, maybe testimony, maybe documents. Whatever it is, 50 Cent seems prepared. And judging by his confidence, the next reveal might shake the ground harder than anything we've seen yet. If tape 1 started a fire, tape 2 could burn down the entire castle. As the internet held its breath waiting for 50 Cent's next move, a sense of eerie anticipation filled the entertainment world. It felt like a storm hanging above the industry, dark, heavy, ready to break at any second. Every influencer, every gossip page, every news desk stared at their notifications the way people watch a ticking bomb. Everyone wanted to be there the moment 50 Cent pressed upload again, not because they loved drama, but because they sensed history forming. Then it happened, not the full tape, but a twist nobody saw coming. A journalist from an independent media outlet posted a report claiming that the leaked audio might not be the only recording allegedly circulating between insiders. According to this journalist, there were possibly video clips, private messages, financial documents, things far beyond audio. This changed everything. Audio could be debated, but video, documents, dated interactions. Those could destroy careers permanently. Suddenly, the internet wasn't just mocking or guessing, it was afraid. People began asking harder questions. If Diddy is truly caught in a corner, what might he say to save himself? Who might he expose? Does he know things about the biggest award shows, movie producers, billionaires, politicians? What secrets are buried at levels so high the public can't even imagine? This fear became a second wave of viral explosion. Even people who stayed neutral began distancing themselves. One former collaborator deleted a decade-old music video that featured Diddy. Another artist removed songs from streaming platforms that credited him. Fans labeled it as cleaning evidence. Some said it was guilt.
Just tell you, if it was me, I would be more than a little upset. I was more than a little upset when the client didn't know and I was being recorded. I mean, there was a while there where I was meeting clients under bridges, freeway bridges, because I was PTSD over it. So I think as a lawyer, it is one of the most inviolate oaths that you take to protect the client confidentiality and the client privilege.
Others called it survival instinct. Nobody wanted their name linked to a sinking empire. Meanwhile, 50 Cent continued to act like a mastermind controlling a season finale. He posted a photo of himself holding headphones with the caption, "Should I drop the full version on Friday?" The comment section exploded like someone threw gasoline on open flame. Thousands begged, thousands argued. Some demanded he hand it to authorities instead of the internet. Others begged him not to stop, saying the industry needed cleansing. But beyond the crowd, fear whispered deeper. If 50 drops everything, what happens next? Could lawsuits rain down? Could powerful figures retaliate? The story no longer felt like entertainment, it felt like war. The media moved quickly. Panels on major talk shows debated whether 50 Cent was exposing truth or weaponizing content for revenge. Some hosts said he was a hero shining light on corruption. Others criticized him for humiliating someone before court decisions. But debate only fueled the phenomenon. Controversy sells. And this was controversy multiplied by greed, history, power, ego, and digital reach. News anchors replayed the audio on air. Legal experts analyzed whether it violates privacy laws. Former artists from Diddy's label gave subtle statements like, "I can't speak on that right now," which only made people think they were hiding something bigger. A famous producer said in an interview, "If the tapes are real, careers won't be the only thing collapsing." That sentence was repeated millions of times online, becoming one of the most shared quotes of the year. Because what collapses with careers, legacy, respect, stature, influence, sponsorships, and most importantly, silence. History shows one thing clearly: when a man with secrets falls, others fall with him. Meanwhile, fans started connecting dots like detectives. They looked at every celebrity who attended Diddy's infamous private parties. They dug up photos of people entering mansions late at night. Old blurry images resurfaced of Hollywood elites laughing together under dim lights. A rumor thread exploded suggesting that those parties had rules, that phones weren't allowed, that NDAs were signed, and that what happened there wasn't meant to be discussed outside. If even a fragment of that rumor were true, recording something inside those walls would be impossible, unless someone trusted had access. That made the prison tape even stranger. If Diddy was protected by so many layers of privacy, how did a call leak? Was it recorded internally by officials? Was it sent to 50 Cent intentionally by an enemy? Or was it leaked by someone Diddy once trusted? The thought of betrayal made the story even sharper. If someone close to him flipped sides, that meant...
It's incredible. Diddy did two things here. Number one, he betrayed Mark Agnifilo, who, to your point, did so much for him. Obviously, without Mark Agnifilo...
Diddy wasn't just fighting 50 Cent, he was bleeding from inside. Reporters began publishing maps of relationships like crime networks. Who used to work with who split from who might have motive. Fans discovered that several ex-associates who previously stayed silent suddenly followed 50 Cent on Instagram. Coincidence? Maybe, or maybe allegiance was shifting. When power fades, loyalty often follows. A late-night show host joked on air, "Everybody in Hollywood just checking if their name is in those tapes." The audience laughed, but nervously. Because the joke had truth, people with something to hide always fear someone with evidence. At the same time, something shocking happened. A rumor claimed that the reason Diddy sounded panicked in the tape wasn't just fear of jail. He might fear what happens if truth escapes him. One online forum suggested that Diddy was trying to negotiate safety by offering information about others. Another theory claimed that larger forces might silence him before he speaks. The darkest theory said the tape might not be Diddy begging to escape prosecution, but begging to live. Theories rolled without breaks, because silence creates more fear than explanation. And 50 Cent, like a chess grandmaster, knew exactly what he was doing. He let the world talk, he let pressure build. He let every rumor grow without killing it, because when you want to destroy a giant, you don't push immediately. You wait until they crumble under their own weight. And Diddy, whether guilty or innocent, no longer looked like a giant. He looked like a man surrounded by collapsing walls. A man who once ruled the music world, now rumored to cry behind a phone begging someone, anyone, to pull strings for freedom. But the most haunting question remained unspoken yet present in every discussion. What happens when the full tape drops? If one short clip caused global uproar, what would a 30-minute recording do? What if there are multiple hours? What if there is video proof, documents, confessions? Would it trigger mass arrests? Would it expose Hollywood? Would it burn careers like dry paper? Or would someone in power shut it down before the truth sees daylight? 50 Cent hinted that he doesn't plan to stop, that more is coming. His confidence isn't of a man bluffing, it is of a man holding loaded ammunition. A man who waited years for the perfect moment. And now he has audience, attention, momentum, and fear all at once. The world now stands in suspense like viewers of a thriller waiting for the final reveal. But this story isn't fiction. This is real life, real people, real power. The castle is shaking, and the king is trapped inside. Whether he escapes or burns depends on what comes next. And everyone knows 50 Cent hasn't even played his final card yet. The world watched, breath held, as the story around the alleged Diddy prison tapes expanded like a crack spreading through a glass wall. Every hour felt like a countdown. Every silence from Diddy's side felt heavier than denial. Every smirk from 50 Cent looked like a warning. The industry had seen beef before: Eminem versus MGK, Drake versus Meek, Kanye versus Jay, but this wasn't rap beef. This was reputation warfare. This was a legend standing at the edge of a cliff while another stood behind him, hand on his back, deciding when to push. Comment sections became battlegrounds of belief and disbelief. Some fans said Diddy was being framed. Others insisted years of whispers finally had proof. Some believed powerful influencers were protecting him. Others believed 50 Cent had taken a personal mission to expose everything. But no matter which side people chose, one truth unified them: nobody could look away. As anticipation grew, reporters dug deeper into old archives. Videos resurfaced of Diddy making uncomfortable jokes, viral clips of celebrities looking uneasy around him, moments that once passed unnoticed now felt like clues. People replayed award show footage where Diddy tried to hug someone who pulled away. They slowed down frames, searching in micro-expressions for guilt, fear, tension. Internet investigators treated him like a suspect in a documentary series. Episode 1 The Leak, Episode 2 The Silence, Episode 3 The Consequences. Meanwhile, 50 Cent watched everything like a showrunner satisfied with ratings. He posted a photo of himself watching TV with popcorn. No caption. The message was obvious. He was enjoying the chaos. The funniest part. He didn't even need to release more content, yet anticipation was already tearing the industry apart. The threat of a tape was almost more dangerous than the tape itself. Rumors claimed private calls between high-profile lawyers and networks increased. Some insiders claimed Diddy was exploring settlements. Some said he was preparing to escape the country. Others said he was cooperating with authorities quietly, hoping for immunity. None of these claims were confirmed, but speculation became entertainment, and entertainment became pressure. Then came another twist. A small leak, not audio, not video, but a photograph. A blurry screenshot circulated online showing what looked like a call log displaying Diddy's name beside a timestamp believed to match the night of the first audio leak. It wasn't verified, but it reignited the fire instantly. If the world was waiting calmly, now it pulsed with adrenaline again. People didn't need proof, they needed possibility. While journalists scrambled to trace the source, one thing became clear: someone wanted this story alive. Someone behind the scenes was feeding the flame. Whether it was an insider, ex-associate, business rival, or activist seeking justice, no one knew. But silence was disappearing rapidly. The internet smelled blood and the sharks were circling. 50 Cent responded in perfect theatrical fashion. He posted, "If I drop the video, that's game over." No emoji, no joke. Straight words, cold and loaded. Fans screamed in comments, bloggers swarmed. Content creators stayed up all night waiting for an upload notification. Thousands set reminders. People didn't want to miss history. They wanted to witness it live, because the world rarely sees a king fall in real time. A dark question formed in the minds of viewers. What if the tapes reveal more than anyone bargained for? What if they expose crimes, deals, exploitation? What if it sparks legal avalanche? Because once truth leaks, it never goes back into the bottle. If 50 Cent truly possesses something big, it could ripple through record labels, management companies, media networks, the entire architecture of fame. There are whispers that several executives have already stopped taking interviews, contracts suddenly paused, collaborations placed on hold, brands quietly rewriting clauses. Fear isn't loud, it hides in silence. And then there's Diddy. The once unshakable figure now portrayed by online narrative as hunted, cornered, vulnerable. Some fans began to show sympathy. They asked, what if he's being sabotaged? What if rivals are exploiting old grudges during his weakest moment? A counter-movement formed saying no one should be convicted by social media alone. They argued for due process. They asked for evidence, not speculation. And though their voices existed, they were small compared to the roaring majority hungry for revelation. But every story eventually reaches a moment where suspense becomes unbearable. And that brings us to now, this moment. Here where audiences sit on the edge of a digital cliff waiting for the ground to crumble. Because the world believes more is coming. Not because 50 Cent said it directly, but because he acts like a man holding dynamite. He walks confidently, laughs publicly, posts fearlessly. You don't laugh during war unless you know you've already won. Maybe he's bluffing, or maybe he has enough material to bury careers 6 feet deep. Maybe the tapes will reveal nothing new, or maybe they will change pop culture forever. Maybe Diddy survives, or maybe this becomes the most catastrophic downfall in entertainment history. Everything depends on the next release. And here's the real truth nobody wants to say out loud. The world doesn't want the story to end. They want it to escalate. Human nature is addictive to chaos. And right now, 50 Cent is the supplier. Whether he drops the full tapes tomorrow, next week, or months later, the world will be watching with the same hunger. Eyes locked, ears ready, hearts racing. Because this scandal is more than entertainment, it's a phenomenon. One we might tell stories about for decades. All we know for sure is this: a chapter is closing, another is about to open, and the next one might be explosive. If 50 Cent releases the full tapes, justice or destruction follows, depending on which side you're standing on. For now, we wait. For now, we refresh. For now, the internet holds its breath, because the moment that notification pops up, everything changes. If you've followed this story up to this point, you already know this isn't just celebrity gossip. This is a war unfolding in real time, and we're all witnesses. The tapes are out there, the rumors are loud, and the world is watching history shake beneath its own feet. So tell us, what do you think? Are these tapes real evidence or a strategic power move? Is 50 Cent exposing the truth, or is he pushing personal revenge to the global stage? Are we seeing justice or just spectacle? And most importantly, what happens if the full tapes drop? Drop your thoughts in the comments. No matter which side you're on, your voice matters. Hit that like button if you're following the story as closely as we are. Smash subscribe because we're going deeper, and the moment part 2 or the next leak hits, we'll be the first to break it down for you detail by detail. Turn on notifications because the next update could be the biggest twist yet, and trust me, you don't want to hear it last. This story is evolving by the hour, new rumors emerge daily, new clues surface unexpectedly, and when the next tape drops, it could shake the entire industry to its core. So stay with us, stay alert, stay locked in. Because whatever comes next might be darker, louder, and more shocking than anything we've seen so far. The war isn't over, it's only the beginning. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll meet again at the next breaking chapter.